Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
I welcome you. I welcome you to Kalinga Lit Fest and Mystic Kalinga Festival. And let me introduce Swamiji. Pujya Dr. Gyanvatsal Swamiji, a great saint and international motivational speaker with in-depth knowledge, profound wisdom, and insights on a wide spectrum of subjects. And Pujya Gyanvatsal Swamiji is a motivational speaker, spiritual leader, and works as a social reformer at BAPS, that is Bocha Sanwasi Sri Akshar Purushottam Swami Narayan Sanstha. And he was born and raised in a Vallabhai Vidyanagar, Gujarat, village in Gujarat. And he has done BTech, Bachelor of Engineering, and he has delivered more than 15,000 talks and speeches across the world. And in 1992, he got initiated as a sadhu by His Holiness Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj. And I would like to request Swamiji to deliver his talk on the topic making of a true human being and its characteristic. Swamiji.
Namaskar, everybody. Good morning. Jai Swaminarayan. With prostrations at the divine feet of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and my Guru Hari, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Param Pujya Mahan Swami Maharaj, my heartiest namaskar to all the organizers of the Kalinga Lit Festival, the Mystic India Festival. And so nice to be with you all on this fine Saturday morning. I feel privileged to be invited in this very prestigious event. And so, from the bottom of my heart, I express my sincere thanks to Shri Pranab Kumar, Shri Rashmi Ranjan, and all the organizers and the team of this festival. Well, the topic shared with me today, making of a true human being and its characteristics. It is rightly said in our scriptures, Durlabhu Manusha Deho, Dehinam Shanakangur. Means that to achieve this human body, to achieve this human life, is something rarest of the rarest for this soul. And that too, it is Kshanabhangur, that is a 60 or 70 or 80-year life. In the midst of this, it is up to us, according to the wisdom of the scriptures, according to modern science, according to the way of thinking that we imbibe on ourselves to live a beautiful human life. It is in our hands. God has gifted us this wonderful body. Scientists in America, they said that if you want to make a lifeless human body, not putting soul into it, but just a lifeless human body, it would cost about $5 trillion. So all of us, in other words, in one sense, we are all trillionaires, not just millionaires, not just billionaires, we are all trillionaires, that we possess this 5 trillion body. How exactly to use it? What is the aim of human life? And how do we make a perfect human life? At least try for it. See, you purchase an electronic item, you get a booklet that is a guidebook with it, how to use it. You purchase a domestic item like a refrigerator or a fridge or a mixer, and you get a guidebook along with it, how to use it. In the same way, when you get this $5 trillion body, we need to have a guidebook, how to use it, how to make the best use of it, and how to live a great human life. I would not go deep into the sayings and the experiences of the great sages and the seers of India. But the essence of it, the first and the foremost big essence of this particular aspect is every human being must strive for an honest, ethical, hardworking life. The topic of the talk today, making of a true human being and his characteristic. The first aspect of making of a true human being and its characteristic is striving for a honest, ethical, hardworking life. There is no alternate to it when it comes to progress, when it comes to success, and when it comes to satisfaction in life. Well, actually, you see, the element of hard work has been put by God in all the living entities. Whether we live in the urban localities or the animals that live in the jungles, the forests. From morning to evening, everybody has to work hard. It is a proverb in the North African jungles that every morning when the sun rises, even the slowest deer has to run minimum faster than the fastest lion to see the evening. Otherwise, it will be preyed upon. And the slowest lion must minimum run faster than the slowest deer to see the evening. Otherwise, he will go hungry. So whether you are the lion or the deer, every morning when the sun rises, you have to run. So whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are, when the sun rises, you have to run. So the element of hard work has been put by nature, and that is the course of nature. So when that element has been naturally put into us, we must strive for it. Honest, ethical hard work and thereafter striving for excellence in our respective fields is the first human endeavor in making our human lives great and making of a good human being. See, we all work and we all work hard in our respective fields, but the adjectives that are added to it is honesty and ethical living. There is no greater living upon this earth than living with honesty and ethics. With honesty and ethics, you not only achieve success in life, but you also achieve deep satisfaction. Without honesty and without ethics, you may or may not achieve the right growth or progress in life, but you will certainly never achieve complete satisfaction at the end of your life, because at the end of your life, at least you must be able to put your hand on your chest and tell yourself, yes, I lived my life. Forget of what people say. Forget of what the society thinks of you. Forget of the opinions that may your colleagues, your boss or your subordinates, juniors make of you. At least you should be satisfied with your own life. That is the essence of human living. So the topic that we are discussing today, making of a good human life, making of a great human life and making of a true human life, we must strive for honesty and ethics in our life. If you miss out on those, you can probably be a good loser someday. Rather, not probably, certainly be a good big loser on someday. And if you live with honesty and ethics, it is always a win-win situation for you and for people around you. So always try to live an honest and ethical life. There is no great living than that. And when there is no great living than that, why not to strive for it? If you miss out on ethics, all your academics, all your talents, all your experiences, all your platforms, all your back support systems, everything can turn into zero within seconds. You can become zero from hero within seconds. Many a times I say that even if the name of your company is Satya, when you go for Asatya practices, you can probably stand a chance. And what happened to the gentleman of 7 years of rigorous imprisonment in jail? Even if you are the Sahara of thousands of families and you have built thousands of homes for families, you can still lie be a Sahara in Tihar for 4 years. Even when you have created the whole IPL for the cricket world in India, you have to leave India and stay in London in exile. Even if you are the king of the skies, you have to leave India without Indian passport. Even if you are a big diamond here, but you cheat with the banks, you have to leave India, and now you are with the British authorities and in a jail in England. I think you got the names of the people I spoke. This is all according to the newspaper reports and the proceedings in the court. So whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are, never play with ethics. My simple question to you: can you play with fire? No. Can you play with water? No. Can you play with electricity? No. In the same way, can you play with ethics and honesty? No. The initial transgression of ethics and norms in life would perhaps bring momentary pleasures for you. You would start loving that money. But remember one thing: nothing is about dharma. That is, this honesty and ethics is one part of dharma. Bhagwan Swaminarayan, the organization that I come from, and you are rightly having his darshan on the screen, who incarnated himself about 200 years ago, he has rightly put in his scripture Sikshapatri that dharmo gneya sadachar. Dharma means sadachar, sad acharan, good conduct, good character, good behavior. So for the sake of money, for the sake of relationships, for the sake of increasing one's fame, for the sake of gaining more profits, for the sake of being just well known in the society, for the sake of just cultivating a superior attitude, never ever for any of these sakes allow honesty and ethics to be transgressed. Otherwise, you will land yourself in a pool of troubles. My simple question to you: on a fine Sunday morning, well, even if the chairman of the local electricity board, if he just looks at the plug and says, "Yet, well, your distribution lies in my hands, and today I would like to put my finger inside the plug. This is the chairman's finger, take care of it." And even if the chairman of the electricity board puts his finger inside the plug, would the electricity welcome it with a garland? What would electricity do? चिपका देगी, मर जाएगा वो. Because electricity doesn't know your post position and power. In the same way, ethics, norms and disciplines doesn't know your post position and power. So the first aspect in the topic of the talk today, making of a true human being, is honest, ethical hard work. And if you do honest and ethical hard work, resources have to come to you. People have to come to you. Money has to come to you. God's blessings, they have to come to you. This we saw in the life of our Guruji, Pramukh Swami Maharaj. You might all have heard the name. You might have visited the Swaminarayan Akshardham at New Delhi and Swaminarayan Akshardham at Gandhinagar. The creator of this Akshardham, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj, you can see his picture in black and white on the screen. He single-handedly created 1,400 such institutions all over the world, selflessly, for the upliftment of mankind in all walks of life. In a span of 45 years, from 1971 to 2016, until he passed away at the age of 95. 1,400 hospitals, hostels, schools, colleges, sanskar kendras, sanskar dhams, mandirs and akshardhams. He created that means at an unbelievable average of creating an institute every 15th day, that is every second week of his life for 45 days, serving humanity. This is beyond the ken of human intelligence. This statistics can blow our minds off. We 1,100 saints initiated by him, joined him, and doing service according to his commands. Why such a big resource with him? He was just 5th standard pass. This year, The ongoing 2 years, we are celebrating his centenary celebrations. But why would people to this extent join Pramukh Swami Maharaj in his motive of selfless service to society? Just because that he had a pure heart, he had an honest and ethical heart. Once he was asked which thought remains with you 24 by 7, and he said, the thought that has never entered my mind, shall I tell you first? And that was more interesting. Pramukh Swami Maharaj said, the thought of hurting anybody physically, mentally, or emotionally has never entered my mind. This is called honest, ethical living. And this is the first step to the topic that we are talking and discussing today, making of a true human being. Why to think ill of others and why to try practically, physically, to hurt anybody physically, mentally, emotionally? Always keep the attitude, he is he, I am I. Whatever he's enjoying, the pleasures of life, it is his hard work, his destiny, his karma. Whatever I have with me is my destiny, my hard work, my karma. As simple as that. He is he, I am I. He's happy with his Mercedes. I'm happy with my Maruti, with my Hyundai. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Then you live a satisfied, contented life because of honesty and ethics in your life. And those people who have lived with honesty and ethics, see the life of Mahatma Gandhi, see the life of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Today, the Statue of Unity in Gujarat, it's the tallest statue of the world. And it stands tall because of the ethical, honest life of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India. Of course, he united so many kingdoms to make Akhanda Bharat. But at the same time, let me tell you that when, as the Deputy Prime Minister and the Home Minister of India, when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel passed away, he just had 700 rupees in his bank account. Sometimes, out of wisdom, I say that this huge statue of crores of rupees stands today tall on the banks of the Narmada River, tallest in the world. That statue of crores of rupees was made just because Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel had 700 rupees in bank account. Had he added a few zeros behind it during his career, this statue wouldn't have come up. So when you live a life of ethics, when you live a life of honesty, you are satisfied during your lifetime. You command respect and love from people during your lifetime. And after your lifetime also, you become a source of inspiration to millions of people the world around, as is Mahatma Gandhi, as is Abraham Lincoln, as is Nelson Mandela, as is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, as is Pramukh Swami Maharaj today. So this is the first aspect. The second aspect of making of a true human being is make a proper work-life balance. Don't tilt the balance towards one end, that is your work. That I have too much of work and I start my office at 7:30 or 8 in the morning and I have to work till 8. Okay, this is an endless stream. There is a whole sea of work in front of you. If you keep on constantly working, if you keep on constantly getting into new work, it is an endless vicious cycle. You have to stop somewhere. You have to put a bar somewhere. You have to put a satisfactory line somewhere. If you don't draw that line, your 70 and 80 years of life will just pass away and you will regret many things in life. So when I talk to corporates, I teach them the 8+8+8 formula. First 8 hours is your honest, ethical hard work in whichever profession you are, that is we talked. Second 8 hours is good sleep or rest. And third 8 hours are very important. Now listen very carefully. The third 8 hours are very important. If you can live it well, you have won your life. If you can't live it well, you probably may stand a chance to lose your life. Third 8 hours we teach 3H, 3F, and 3S. 3F is family, friends, and faith. 3H is health, hygiene, hobby. 3S is soul, service, and smile. In these 9 departments, your third 8 hours of the day should be well distributed, of course, into fragments of the whole day. But this 8 plus 8 plus 8 is a well lived, balanced life. Again, for the more clear thinking of the audience, the third 8 hours is 3F, 3H, and 3S. 3F is family, friends, and faith. 3H is health, hygiene, and hobby. 3S is soul, service, and smile. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 is a system that is a proper work-life balance. That is making of a true human being. Sometimes I jokingly even say that if you toil for your whole life and you create a very, very fat bank account, but when you pass away, our scriptures, they say that nothing comes with you. And I say that the amount of money that you have in your bank account when you die is the extra work you did. You shouldn't have done. The amount of money that you have in your bank account when you die is the extra work you shouldn't have done. For that, I would suggest a very good book to all of you. And the title of the book is 5 Regrets of the Dying. A nurse in Australia by the name Bronnie Ware, she has written this book. She was treating critically ill patients. And she would secretly ask these patients to fill up a form when the relatives of the patients were away. And this all were critically ill patients, so even the patients knew that they were upon this earth for just a few weeks, and even their relatives, they knew it, even the medical paramedical staff at the hospital knew it. So the form was in two sections. The first section would say, well, when you are towards the last phase of your life and you know you're going to die, what do you cherish in your life? And the second section was that, what do you regret in your life? The form was filled up, that is, a response was from a range of people, from an ordinary carpenter to a CEO of a giant MNC, to an owner of a family business, to a government officer, to a small time businessman, everybody, man, women. And to your surprise, the column for what I regret in life was filled more than the column that what I cherish in life. So this we need to understand to make a true human being of ourselves. From that, this lady Bronnie Ware, she picked the 5 common points, the 5 common regrets that these people had at this stage in their life. And she writes a book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying, which made her a millionaire. The first regret that these people had, you'd be surprised to know that these people used to say, for what reason and why the hell on this earth I worked so much in my office and my profession. Why? For what reason I worked so much? Second was, I should have spent more time with my family and friends who loved and respected me and who I loved and respected. That is, the close ones, the near and dear ones in my life. I should have spent more time with them. The third was, I should have lived the life of my choice and not the life that people expected me to live. I gave you 3 out of the 5 regrets of life. I'm restricting myself here to put a small suspense for you to go on the net and discover the other 2 regrets, so that I can give you a small homework today after this talk. But these are the principal 5 regrets of those people. For us not to have such a regrets at the end of our lives, we must introspect and make it clear in our minds and hearts of the way of the life that we want to live. So make a proper work-life balance. Your work is important, I understand. Your profession is important, I understand. Earning money is extremely important, I understand. At the same time, spending quality and quantity time with your family members and friends is equally important. At the same time, joining yourself in some social service at least 2 hours a week is equally important. At the same time, taking care of your health and hygiene is equally important. At the same time, to develop the religious aspect of your life and be faithful towards God. And involve yourself in some social, in some religious, in some spiritual activities selflessly. It's equally. This is not just the scriptures of India, they say. This is even the top management gurus of the world say. The top social relationship gurus of the world say. The top health gurus of the world say this. So my second point is make a proper work-life balance. That is 8 plus 8 plus 8. And that 8 plus 8 plus 8, when it gives you a proper work-life balance, it is absolute satisfaction in life and absolute content in life. The third aspect of making of a true human being is spend your quality and quantity time with your family members when you're back home. I would suggest to the organizers of this festival that anytime during this festival time or your ongoing programs, whenever you feel okay, you can download a 30-second speech of Brian Dyson, the ex-world CEO of Coca-Cola. He was talking after his retirement to at a B school at a convocation to the fresh management graduates. And he said that of my 40 years of experience in the corporate world, I've come to know that actually in life you are juggling with 5 balls. You know, we have seen circus, and there's circus a joker. He juggles with 5 balls and doesn't allow any ball to fall on the ground. And he says that we are juggling with 5 balls in life. The first ball is the ball of work, second is the ball of family, third is the ball of friends, fourth is the ball of health, and fifth is the ball of spirit. That is all the conscious time we are spending in this fight. Then he says that after many years of juggling and playing with these balls, you will come to know that the first ball, that is the ball of work, is made up of rubber, and the rest of the 4 balls are made up of glass. The first ball, that is the ball of work, is made up of rubber. So if at all you lose it and it falls on the ground, it will bounce back because it is made up of rubber. That is, you will get a work opportunity again in life. As the chairman of the Virgin Atlantic, Richard Branson, writes in his autobiography that work is like a bus station, a bus comes every 3 minutes. But the other 4 balls, that is the ball of family, ball of health, ball of spirit, the ball of friends, are made up of glass. If you lose them and they fall on the ground, they will break. If not break, it will crack. If not crack, it will take shape, but it will not be the same again. So finally says, so get to work on time, work effectively during your working hours, and get back to your family on time. This is spending quality and quantity time with your family members. A Harvard University study says they conducted this study in more than 110 countries, in more than 100,000, that is 1 lakh families, in 8, like in all the 5 continents upon this earth. And the principal question of this survey was, what according to you is the greatest joy upon this earth? And you'll be surprised to know that more than 67% of the respondents, they say that spending quality and quantity time with your near and dear ones, whom you love and respect, and who loves and respects you, is the greatest joy upon this earth. To know this, to enjoy this, is making of a true human being, the topic that we're discussing today. So my third aspect in this is spend quality and quantity time with your family members. The fourth aspect of making of a true human being is enroll yourself in some kind of social service wherever you are, wherever it is possible, wherever it is visible, for a cause that is close to your heart. If you feel that orphanage, if you feel that a medical activity, if you feel that any some educational activity, if you feel that an old age home service, whatever is close to your heart, wherever you feel like working, devote your time, devote your resources to some extent, whatever is feasible for you, to selflessly serve the society. It is not just a human duty, it is a human endeavor, and it is the command of the scriptures. It is the advice of the modern day better living teaching gurus. You'll be surprised to know that many of the doctors in the United States, they officially prescribe 2 hours of selfless service a week in their prescription to patients who come to them complaining about some ailments or some pains or disease. Along with the medicines, they officially prescribe 2 hours of this service, because now science has come out with the fact, which our great scriptures were saying since ages, that a selfless service can distress you. A selfless service has the impact on controlling even your blood pressures and diabetes. To this extent, the researches have come out from reputed institutions. And when you do selfless service, it has the power to keep a smile on your face all the time. This we have seen in the life of Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Today we see that in the life of our present Guru Hari, Parapuja Mahan Swami Maharaj, whose picture with folded hands and saffron clad cross you can see on the screen. That in their entire human life so far, they have enrolled themselves in selfless service of the society. So you always see a charming smile, a divine attribute on their face. If you want to live a life of smiles, if you want to live a life of absolute satisfaction, if you want to live a life of being considered in the hearts and minds of people, the only one thing, and rather the only one thing that can bring you to that status is absolute selfless service. And people have done it. We had Ravi Shankar Maharaj here in Gujarat, who selflessly served and worked tirelessly to bring the dacoits of the Chambal Valley in Madhya Pradesh to mainstream society. He was hugely successful in that. We had Dr. Doshi here in Gujarat, who was an eye surgeon, but he decided to selflessly serve. And during his lifetime, he performed more than 3 lakh cataract operations free. He used to travel for 20 to 22 days in a month, erecting camps at various villages in Gujarat. And we felicitated Dr. Doshi on the first day of the 34th day long festival during the inauguration of the Swaminarayan Akshardham at Gandhinagar, which probably many you might have seen. What I mean to say is a selfless service. Imagine if all the people upon this earth, if all these people upon this earth, if they decide to selflessly serve the society, at least for 2 hours a day, 2 hours a week, what not can be achieved? And which service can be left out? And for seva dharma, that is selfless service towards the society, even the scriptures have lauded it a lot, that it is a pathway towards self-realization. It's a pathway towards God. This greatness has been attributed to selfless service. So this is my fourth aspect in talking to you today. Making of a good human being and his characteristic is involve yourself, engage yourself to some kind of selfless social service, so that definitely all the advantages of physical, mental, emotional well-being because of this selfless service, well proved by science. But at the same time, you leave this earth a bit more better than what you found it. I think this is a dream of everybody of us. That when I walk for 70 or 80 years upon this earth, when I leave this earth, I should make one small place, one small circle, one association, some better than how I found it. That selfless contribution counts not just upon this earth, it counts in your heavenly abode as well, well prescribed in the scriptures. And the fifth and the last aspect of making of the true human being is always develop the spiritual instinct in you. Mankind are inherently religious and spiritual. You might have all the logics that if I don't see God, how can I associate myself with Him? How can I 100% say that all the scriptures, whatever written in the scriptures is right? But I tell you one thing, some things are faith in life, not everything is logic. When you married your spouse, everything was not logic. Most part of it was from the heart because you loved, because you found it okay for you and you married your spouse. At that time, you didn't have all the introduction to him or her about the nature, about the background, about the way of working, about the way of expressions, nothing, even the way of thinking on certain issues. But still, you adjusted, you compromised. And today, you are living a wonderful married life, a happy married life with your family. But you started that journey of your married life with faith and not logic, isn't it? But when you kept faith and in that direction you slowly progressed, today you are a wonderful family person and you enjoy a wonderful family life. In the same way, when it comes to spirituality and religiosity and God, it is all about faith. Keep the faith, move ahead, and you will see the light. See, the worldly way is that first seeing and then believing. The heavenly way is that first believing and then seeing. Absolutely different. You can't enjoy everything only if you put logics, the whys, the whom's, the whens, and whats. I tell you, all of us have played cricket, isn't it? All of us in our childhood, teenage, young days have played cricket. We never applied logic to it. We just enjoyed the game. If you would have applied logic, if you had applied a reasoning mind, a logical mind, a rational mind to it, your first question before going on the ground would be, who decided that there should be 3 stumps at the wicket? Why not 2? Why not 4? And who decided it? Actually, who first of all gave authority to him to decide? And if at all he decided, who was in the acceptance committee who accepted it? You can have these 5 questions for the number of, that is 3 stumps at the wicket in cricket. But did you pose any of this question anytime? No. You accepted that there are 3 stumps at the wicket. When you accepted it by faith, you enjoyed the game of cricket, isn't it? But if you're started questioning why this 22-yard, why not this 20-yard pitch, and why not this 30-yard pitch? All those was well designed to enjoy the game of cricket. In the same way, all the norms of religiosity and spirituality are well designed for a wonderful human life, as you don't question the number of stumps, who designed it while playing cricket, the length of the pitch while playing cricket. You have accepted it, and because you have accepted it, you are enjoying the game. In the same way, accept the existence of the God, accept the doership of God, accept the norms of religiosity and spirituality, and you will enjoy, like the game of cricket, your game of life as well. Life is too short to find answers for all the questions. You have to walk by faith. Sometimes the heart has its own reasons which the head can never understand. You not only just walk by hand, you not only just walk by head, you walk by heart as well. So keep faith. And I tell you, all that is well said in the scriptures like the Ramayana, like the Mahabharata and the Srimad Bhagavad Gita has been, many of these things has been well proved by science. For example, हमारे सत्य शास्त्रों में ये बात लिखी है, it is well prescribed in our scriptures that you chant the holy name of God. Bhagwan Sri Ram, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Bhagwan Swaminarayan, whichever form of God yet you believe in, chanting the holy name of God like Swaminarayan, 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 in the morning for 10 minutes, in the evening for 10 minutes can distress you, can inspire you, rejuvenate you every day in the morning. And Dr. H.G. Coing and Dr. Andrew Newberg, I'm giving you the names, you can go on Google and find it. At the University of Pennsylvania and the University of Philadelphia, they jointly conducted a wonderful scientific experiment with psychoneurosoftwares on 4,000 people. Before the chanting of the holy name, they were wired, and after the chanting of the holy name and a few practices for a few weeks, they were again wired. And this psychoneurosoftwares, they said that if you chant the holy name of God regularly, you have many advantages in your life. If you chant the holy name of God regularly, you have many advantages in your life. The first advantage, they said that the level of tolerance and the level of acceptance increases in your life. And see, when the level of acceptance of people and circumstances in your life increases, when the level of tolerance in your life increases, you are more human, you are more happy, isn't it? You are more steadfast, isn't it? This is the first advantage of chanting the holy name. They measured this by psychoneurosoftwares according to the hormones released in the bloodstream while a person is chanting the holy name. Second, they said that the overall health of the family members of a believer family were found to be more better than the overall health of the members of the non-believer family. Again, this is a big advantage when it comes to health. Third, they said that the overall results, academic results of the children of the believer family were found to be quite better than the overall academic results of the children of the non-believer family. Again, this is a big advantage of chanting the holy name. So even I say, even if you have 3 big advantages, they listed out about 8 to 10, but I'm just, as the time constraints, and I'm about to finish in 2 or 3 minutes as per the time allotted to me. Even if you have these 3 advantages of chanting the holy name of God, the first, increase in your level of acceptance and tolerance. Second, better academics of your children. Third, better health of your family members. I think this is like some partial heaven for you upon this earth. Even if you have these 3 advantages, why not to go for chanting the holy name of God on a regular basis, just 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening before you retire? Try it. This is an experiment that I give you today. Whoever of you are doing it, congratulations. Who are not doing it, this is a scientific experiment by Dr. H.G. Coing and Dr. Andrew Newberg. You try it out and see for 6 months, for 1 year, whether you are experiencing something of what I have said according to this research. Continue it. This is making of a true human being, the topic that we are discussing, the spiritual aspect of your life. Teach your children the spirituality from early childhood. Edgar Hoover, the founder, director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation in America, he says that teach your children faith in God from early childhood. And he said that a child who has been taught to obey the laws of God will find very little difficulty in obeying the laws of man in future. So if you want to make your child a good citizen of the society, you must teach that child faith in God from early childhood. And this faith in God teaches many aspects of life, like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is, the whole earth, all the humanity is but one family. All the human beings upon this earth are my brothers and sisters. Such lofty ideals of spirituality. I've just said one, narrated one, there are hundreds of this. When a child is bringing up with such emotions, with such thinking, with such attributes, with such values, with such virtues, with such attitudes in life, he becomes a more better citizen of the society. And this is making of a true human being, the topic that we are discussing. So Pramukh Sai Maharaj, their guru, used to say that everybody must do Ghar Sabha. What is that Ghar Sabha? That at least 2 times in a week, all the family members must come together for a spiritual session. We come together for a TV session. We come together for a dinner session. That is fine. Okay, there is bonding in the family. At the same time, twice a week, we must come together, all the family members, for a spiritual session, at least for 25 minutes. The first 5 minutes is chanting of the holy name of God. The second 10 minutes is reading a good scripture, turn by turn, every day, every time, different person in the family. And then a fine 5 minutes sharing and caring for each other of what they understood from this lofty ideals or as prescribed in the scriptures. and then sharing the day's happenings with each other, and then you can part out and retire for the day. This Pramukh Swami Maharaj used to say, this such spiritual sessions at least twice a week in families. He called it Gar Sabha. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, out of his next nectar experience of traveling to 18,000 villages, towns, and cities in more than 60 countries of the world, writing personally back to more than 7.5 lakh letters written to him, personally visiting and sanctifying more than 3.5 lakh homes all over the world, initiating 1,100 saints like us, and and putting 1,400 institutions in selfless service to society. Even in your state of Bhubaneswar, at Jagannath Puri, we have a wonderful BAPS establishment where we have more than like about 40 rooms for visitors and pilgrims, and we have a fine cafeteria, and people can have a wonderful, pure vegetarian diet there and enjoy the darshan at the pious place Jagannath Puri. And of course, when we are talking of the Kalinga Lit Festival, we definitely remember and pray at the lotus feet of Jagannath Ji, the world famous deity. So this spirituality calms you, cools you, increases the level of tolerance in you, increases the level of acceptance in you, gives you better health, gives you better academics. Why not to go for it? Why to be a dumb, just questioning spirituality? Why to be a fool, just questioning the existence of God and his doership? If you start the headlights of your car at night after the function going back home, the light reaches just 15 feet. And then you say, rest after 15 feet, oh, it's dark till my home. How can I go there? Are bhai sahab, just sit in the car, start driving. As you will start driving, the light will also go ahead and you will reach your home. In the same way, keep the faith that though that there is darkness out there, still that small light of spirituality will guide me through this darkness. Understanding this, imbibing this in life practically is making of a pure human being and his characteristics. So, I gave you 5 points under this title, the topic that we discussed today, talks today, making of the pure human being. First is honest, ethical, hard work. Second is a good work-life balance, 8+8+8 system. Third is enjoying family life, time, quality-wise and quantity-wise spent with your family. Fourth is engaging yourself in some social service selflessly, a care and concern and a cause that is close to your heart. At least 2 hours a week, you must do some selfless social service. If you don't have anything to do, just clean up. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And that is also your service to the nation and society. And the fifth is pure spirituality in life. These 5 aspects make a complete human being, make a pure human being, and a great human being. My all prayers at the feet of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, my Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and my Guru Hari Mahan Swami Maharaj, will bless us. And also at the feet of Jagannath Ji, that they bless us with the strength to understand these lofty ideals of human life and to imbibe that in our lives and to live such a life so that we live an absolute contented life. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. All my prayers for all of you. Again, namaskars and pranams and Jai Swaminarayan. Thank you very much.
Swamiji, I thank you. It was so amazing and so wonderful, enlightening and enriching session. Hope we shall learn and endeavor to be a true human being. Now we shall take few questions.
Yeah, definitely. Please carry on.
Some questions. Aditya Bharat is asking a question: how food plays a role in your lifestyle and spiritual mindset?
Again, please, again.
Aditya Bharat is asking about the food which plays a role in our lifestyle and spiritual mindset.
Food means
The
that
role
the
of
food
food.
that we eat.
Yeah.
Food that we eat.
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay. The
He's asking
food
about the
that we
food.
eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The food that we eat, what role it plays in your lifestyle and your
Spiritual mindset.
spiritual mindset.
Mind.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a well said proverb prevailing in the society since ages that jaisa an, vaisa man. As you eat, so is your thought process, so are your emotions, so are your expressions, so are your attitudes, and so is your lifestyle. Jaisa an, vaisa man. If you kill and eat, you will live a violent lifestyle. If you reap a harvest, and if you eat, you will have quite a calm mindset. So it is always proposed to have a vegetarian food. Now, this is no longer remaining a topic of debate because thousands of food specialists all over the world, thousands of scientists have come up with various experiments, studies, surveys, and research that a vegetarian food is the best food for a human body, for a human mind, and a human soul. So, a vegetarian diet is a better lifestyle and a better spiritual mindset. Thank you very much.
We can take Kalinga Literary Festival is asking a
Yes.
question. It is how can we manage our temper and time without disturbing the professional work time?
Yeah, when you don't want to disturb your professional work time, that is maybe 8 hours, 10 hours a day that you're doing, but then you want to keep calm with yourself and you don't want to disturb yourself and especially want to control your anger, then the first thing is that you must understand your life better. That if I get angry with things, and if I repeatedly get angry with things, it is like I am punishing myself. Well, somebody said something and somebody did something. And if you get angry for petty reasons, day in and day out, you are punishing yourself. You are increasing your blood pressure. You are increasing your perspiration. You are spoiling your relationships. You are spoiling your concentration in your work. So, your professional work time, everything is getting disturbed. So, first aspect of controlling temperature is this understanding that by getting into temper is that I am disturbing myself, I'm punishing myself. The second aspect of understanding about this anger is that it has worked no good for anybody. It has always spoiled your work, your relationships, and your health. So when you have this basic understanding, then the third thing actually to control it practically is whenever you get into an anger mode, first thing, tighten your lips so you don't speak out anything. Freeze your limbs so you don't raise your hand to hit somebody. Third thing, leave the place. Fourth thing, change the activity. And while doing this, count 100 holy names in your mind. Again, I give you a practical tip. I'm repeating this. The moment you start getting angry, first thing, tighten your lips. Don't speak a word. Otherwise, you will repent for it later. Second, freeze your limbs so you don't raise your hand to hit or beat somebody. Third, leave that place immediately so that the temper goes down 50% if you leave that place and person. Fourth, change the activity that you are doing. And fifth, while doing all this, start high speed chanting the holy name. They say when you chant the holy name of God, a hormone gets released in the blood. It is scientifically proved that when you get angry, cortisol and epinephrine gets released in your bloodstream. So your blood pressure increases, perspiration increases, your moods sway because of these two hormones, cortisol and epinephrine. But when you chant the holy name of God during those times, another hormone called endorphin is released in your bloodstream, which suppresses the effect of both the first hormones, which creates stress, and endorphin produces its own effect of calmness and coolness in you. This is the scientifically proved, experimentally proved thing of chanting the holy name while you are angry. Apply it. Thank you very much.
This is our last question. If anybody has question, please ask.
Parth Patel, Jai Swaminarayan.
Mm, Swami. Perhaps, Swamiji, we have no question. Perhaps, may I ask a question, Swamiji? This
आप
will be a
पूछ लो.
third question.
Yeah, fine. We had
Swamiji,
decided for
if,
3 questions in 10 minutes.
Swamiji, even if we have so many saint and sages, great people, and we have so many spiritual texts, scriptures, and all, but still we are failed to build a healthy human society. What is the reason behind it?
Wonderful question asked. This could be in the minds of many. Before I answer this question, I would like to pose a question against this question. Your question is that when we have so many saints and sages and spiritual people in the society today, and since ages here in India, why were we not able to build a healthy human society? My question to this is, when we have so many soaps in the society, the soaps that we use while bathing, cleaning our body, the soap, when we have so many soap factories in the society, when we have so many shops selling these soaps in the society, why we have people that is smelling dirty, filthy? Why? When we have so many factories of soaps and so many shops selling these soaps, why we many a times find dirty people around us? What is your answer to this question?
Really?
That even when we have so many soaps, but when people don't use that soap and clean their body, they will smell, isn't it? There
Yes,
are soaps,
yes,
but you have to use it. If you don't use it, you will
right,
smell. In the same way, there are spiritual texts and sages. You have to use the word. The one word answer to your question is use it.
right,
If you use the soap and clean your body well, bath with that soap well, you will be fresh and you will not be smelling to people. कोई बदबू नहीं आएगी आपके शरीर में से क्योंकि आपने ये सोप का उपयोग किया है. उसी तरह आपके जीवन में से भी कोई बदबू नहीं आएगी अगर ये स्पिरिचुअल टेक्स्ट और संतों को आपने उपयोग किया है. उपयोग नहीं करते हैं, you don't use those saints and scriptures, so you don't build a healthy human society. If you use them, you build a healthy one.
right. It's great, great,
Thank
Swamiji.
you.
It's great. At last, I thank you once again on behalf of KLF and Mystic Kalinga. And it's our privilege to hear you. Hope to hear you time and again, Swamiji. And it's a wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Pranam.
very much. Pranab Pasaya, thank you very much. And Rashmi Ranjan also, thank you very much to all the organizers and your team. And my prayers for all of you as well to have this enthusiasm and inspiration to organize such festivals for the betterment of humanity for years and decades to come. And I also thank the coordinator from our side, Shri Nilesh Tank, for well coordination between us and you. Thank you very much, you all.
Thank you. Pranam.
Take care. Take care. Pranam.